Welcome to Arts 8 Lesson 4. Today's topic is about arts and crafts of Indonesia, Malaysia, and Singapore. Our learning competency is to trace external and internal influences that reflected in the design of an artwork and in the making of a craft or artifact. Here's our objectives. At the end of the lesson, the students should be able to discover the origin of the arts and crafts of Southeast Asia and create one of the arts and crafts of Southeast Asia. Let's start first with pretest. You have to answer fact if the answer is correct and bluff if the statement is incorrect. You have 5 seconds to answer. Let's begin. Number 1. Wayang kulit influenced by indigenous people in Java, Indonesia. Is it fact or bluff? You have 5 seconds. Time is up and your answer is? That is bluff. Let's have number 2. Are you ready? They believe that wow kites were introduced by China to Malaysia. Is it a fact or bluff? You have 5 seconds. Time is up and your answer is? That is fact. Ready for number 3? Let's have number 3. China's influence is visibly seen in wayang kulit. Is it a fact or a bluff? You have 5 seconds. Time is up and your answer is? That is bluff. Ready for number 4? Number 4. Chinese has a big influence in Singapore's porcelain. Is it a fact or a bluff? You have 5 seconds. Time is up and your answer is? That is fact. Down to our last item, number 5. Ready? Number 5. Kelantan is an indigenous group in Malaysia who brought wow kite to them. Is it fact or bluff? You have 5 seconds. Time is up and your answer is? That is fact. How much score did you get? Did you get 5, 4, or 3? Whatever score you got, that is fine because this is only a pre-test. We will get to know more about this as we go along the way. Now let's move on to our recap. You have to complete the word of the missing letters from the arts and crafts of Thailand and Cambodia by using the pictures on each item. You have 5 seconds to answer. Let's start. Number 1 has 2 words. The first word starts with letter L and the second word starts with letter K. So we have fire, sky, floating, and lamp. You have 5 seconds to guess. Time is up. What do you think? This is Loy Krathong. Ready for the last item? Let's have number 2. This is one word that starts with letter H. So we have weaving, frame, hand, and a basket. You have 5 seconds to guess. Time is up and the answer is? That is handicraft. Very good. Did you get a perfect score? This is what we discussed last lesson. Now let's learn more about Southeast Asia. Let's discuss arts and crafts of Southeast Asia. Let's have first Indonesia. With Indonesia, they're very famous with wayang kulit. Wayang means show and kulit means skin. These puppets are being controlled by what we call a puppet master or dala. Let's get to know the history of wayang kulit. They believe wayang kulit originated in Kelantan, Indonesia. And their proof is the shadow puppet character named Semar, which is only being played in Kelantan, Indonesia, and it is described as an ancient Javanese god clown but appears to be in form of Pactogol or old man. But they also believe that wayang kulit originated in India. This is an example of Indian shadow puppet. They also call it Salu Bumalata. The style of how the Indian shadow puppet are being played is the same as wayang kulit. So what do you think? Did wayang kulit originated in Indonesia or in India? Now let's move on to Malaysia. With Malaysia, they are very famous with wow kite. Wow kites are being used by the farmers as a scarecrow and as to lure children to sleep. And this is also considered as Malaysia's national symbol. But what is the history of wow kite? They believe that wow kite originated in Kelantan, Malaysia. It was first used by their prince. But other historians disagree with this idea. Clive Hart believes that kites were introduced by China to Malaysia. What do you think? Is it originated in Malaysia or in China? Let's have our last country, Singapore. With Singapore, they are very famous with pottery, especially in porcelain making. Porcelain making is considered as one of the heritage arts in Singapore. But what is the history of porcelain? They said China brought porcelain in Singapore. This is when they migrated in Singapore. Aside from bringing porcelain, they also brought calligraphy and sculpture. These are the histories of arts and crafts of Indonesia, Malaysia, and Singapore. Remembering the influence of others is appreciating oneself. Do you believe in this statement? So we're done with our discussion. Now let's move on to our activity. Today's activity is making your own wow kite. What to do? Design your own wow kite with the influence of the arts and crafts from Indonesia, Malaysia, and Singapore. Use the wow kite frame as your guide. Once done, write a short explanation of your design on a piece of paper. To grade your output, we'll be using this rubric. You can get the highest score if you will follow the direction correctly, if your output is very creative and tidy, and if the arts and crafts of Indonesia, Malaysia, and Singapore are visible and used to design your kite. This is our rubric. You can do this at the end of the lesson. First step is to follow the shape of wow kite. Then, you have to put or draw your design on these spaces. Once done designing your wow kite, you have to write a short explanation on your design on a piece of paper. Again, do this at the end of the lesson. Note, once done, put the finished output to your portfolio. Next activity is to create a slogan on how important knowing what's behind the influences of arts and crafts of Indonesia, Malaysia, and Singapore. Use any color you prefer. Easy, right? I know you can do this. Please do this at the end of the lesson. Next activity is to answer this question. First question is, how did you accomplish this module? In 2 to 3 sentences, share your journey. Next question, as a student, how can you preserve the history of our own arts and crafts in the Philippines? Share your answer in 4 to 5 sentences. Write your answer on your notebook and do this at the end of the lesson. Our last activity is quick check. You have to choose the correct answer on each item. You have 5 seconds to answer. Let's start. Number 1. Wayang kulit is an Indonesian arts and crafts and was influenced by what country? Is it China, India, Malaysia, or Philippines? You have 5 seconds. Time is up and your answer is? That is India. Ready for number 2? Let's have number 2. What indigenous group in Malaysia started creating wow kites? Is it Chinese, Filipino, Kelantan, or Malaysian? You have 5 seconds. Time is up and your answer is? That is Kelantan. Ready for number 3? Let's have number 3. What is the nationality of those who migrated to Singapore that brought porcelain as one of their arts and crafts? Is it Chinese, Filipino, Thai, or Vietnamese? You have 5 seconds. Time is up, and your answer is, that is Chinese. Shall we proceed with number 4? Let's have number 4. What indigenous group was believed to be the original creator of wayang kulit? Is it Filipino, Indonesian, Javanese, or Kelantan? You have 5 seconds. Time is up, and your answer is, that is Kelantan. Down to our last item, number 5. Ready? Let's have number 5. What country does the historian Clive Hart believe where the wow kite originated? Is it China, Korea, Philippines, or Thailand? You have 5 seconds. Time is up, and your answer is, that is China. We're done with our test. How much score did you get? Did you get the perfect score? Or is it 4 or 3? Now, whatever score you got, as long as you've done your best, that is fine. That's all we got for today. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Thank you and have a good day. Bye!